Hello everyone, it's Zort Rider here. How you doing? It's been a while since we've spoken. Hope you're all doing well. Sorry I haven't done one of these videos in a while. I had a little bit of a break from YouTube and buying loads of toys and that. I had a lot of stuff going on, adulting and being a normal grown-up. So I just had a bit of a break from YouTube and I'm feeling really refreshed. I've got some cool stuff to share with you. I've been to a local toy fair, which was great, about 2-3 weeks ago. I've been to Walsall Comic Con today with my son, which was pretty awesome. And yeah, I've picked up some stuff in the meantime as well. Now I'm going to hand you back over to me from about 3-4 weeks ago, when Mr. Shotton sent me a little care package all the way from Newcastle, and I got a little bit of an eBay parcel from eBay as well. So I'll hand you back over to Aldrich, and then we'll pick up what I got from the Comic Con today. It's a parcel from my good mate Dave Shotton, who I saw a couple of weeks ago now in Newcastle. And it's just mental, isn't it, that like I picked up a load of stuff from him, and then over the space of 2 weeks he's selling on some stuff, he's got some gifts for me, all of that kind of stuff, so he's posted it through to me. So thanks Dave for this. So shall we open it up? I think I know everything in here. And he's also put a little gift in here for Oliver, which I am excited about because he will absolutely love it. But yeah, the main driver for this parcel was Dave replacing something that's not a hot rod, but he used as a hot rod. I previously had this toy, bought it at TFN last year, and then I sold it, and then I instantly regretted it. So it all works out well in the end because I've got Dave's. Oh, wow, okay, right, there's some extra stuff in here, which I didn't know Dave had put in here. Oh, cool, oh, awesome, right. I'm going to show you the thing for Oliver first, is we have a Funko Pop Groot. Oliver loves his Funko Pops. This is pretty awesome, so he loves Groot. So that is Groot, that's awesome. Bobblehead one as well, he loves the bobblehead one, so cheers, mate. Oliver will love that. We've got it's a vintage Wumpa. Is this a vintage? Look at this. Is it a vintage one? Or is it a reproduction? I think it's a vintage one, isn't it? I've never actually seen these. Never actually seen. Is it vintage? I can't see any mark. Oh, here we are. Yeah, here we are on the back of the leg. 1987. It is a vintage Wumpa. Wow, I've never even seen one of these in person. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. It's got a little bit of rope under the arm as well. Oh mate, thank you so much. That is awesome. A bit of Wumpa love. I've got the Black Series one somewhere. I think I packed it all right. Oh, what else have we got in here? Oh god, we've got. Okay. We've got some little Star Wars Rebel figures. Well, not Rebels, are they? This is the Rebel from. And they said Hoth and Endor, and then we've got this dude, which I think was from the bar in, is it Ponda Baba? Is it? I think. I've actually got Princess Leia over there in her bounty hunter outfit, so I've got a few of these already, so that's awesome, Dave. Thank you for that. I love little surprises. I saw this when I was at Dave's. It's one of these, I don't even know who it is, but it's one of these little Transformers vinyl little figures. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I wonder if you look at that, I reckon I could repaint that into Hot Rod, you know. I reckon I could. But that's awesome, thank you. Right, but yeah, what are these? What are these? Oh, this is a what 3D printed droid, isn't it? One of those little Death Star droids. That's 3D printed. That's pretty cool. Oh, I'll have a bash at gluing that together. That's awesome, mate. Thank you. Where have you got this from? That's awesome. Thank you, mate. So much lovely things. And oh god, there's even more. Right, let me show you this. So this is something that Dave sent me. He did let me know about it, but he was telling me that it's not complete. He's recently replaced his. So this is a Reveltech hot rod. Known for their fragility and their posability, and it's a pretty nice looking figure, to be honest. Arms pop off and everything like that, but there we go. Yeah, but apparently he's missing his hand, so there's this saw blade that goes in there, and we've also got a gun which isn't his, but does fit in his hand, he says. There we go. So another little hot rod from the hot rod shelf, nowhere near as great as Dave's hot rod shelf mine, but that's awesome. So thank you, mate. That is brilliant. A lovely little gift there. Now the thing that I actually wanted to get off him was this one. This is Powerlink's Hot Shot, I think it is. I bought this from TFM, and I bought it as a piss take, to be honest, because Dave had bought this figure and said it was Hot Rod, whereas it's the Takara version that is called Hot Rod that has gold flames and a light up hand and that kind of stuff. So I was taking the mick out of him basically by buying it, saying it was another Hot Rod, and then I sold it on stupidly, and I really regretted it. And then when Dave the other day messaged me going, he's found the Takara one online, and I said, well, actually I'll have this off you, and this is what prompted the whole parcel. So yeah, Armada Hot Shot. Yeah, I'm happy to have it back. And it's nice to have the one that Dave bought as well, that I was taking the mick out of and everything like that. So yeah, awesome. It is Hot Shot, but he might go on my hot rod shelf, because if Dave can do it, why can't I? Right, we've got some other bits in here. This one, this figure has been backwards and forwards between me and Dave. He sent it to me years ago, and he basically didn't want it anymore, and then he become a hot rod fanatic, and I basically sent it him back, and now because he's bought a newer version of it, he sent it back to me. Look at the head on this. That is cursed. Second head with his visor goggles, but another little hot rod from my hot rod shelf, so that's all right, isn't it? I've nearly got as many hot rods as Dave now. Right, we've also got in here a little Ultra Magnus figure, which is brilliant. It's G1. I love that. I have seen some of these before, and I have got a few of them, but not. I might have. I think I want Transformers Prime ones, but yeah, Ultra Magnus is awesome. And we've also got some movie ones. Well, tell a lie, there's a Prime one here. So this is one of the Insecticons from Transformers Prime. We've got Soundwave here from Dark of the Moon, by the look of it. We have Barricade, one of my favourite movie bots, so that's awesome. He's definitely, he's up there, he is. And we've got Shockwave as well, so thank you for that, Dave, that is awesome. And we've still got more to go, so he sent me some, he got some of these minicons from Sir Toys, I think it was. He got to send a load of different hot rods, and he already had some duplicates, so he sent me a few of them. So let me open them up here. So some of these are hot rods, some of them aren't. So this is one of the, I don't even know what this is, but how does the head come out? Just pull up, yeah, just pulls up. So that's almost like a, I don't know, a Sentai thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's a very odd, that one is. Very odd little KO minicon. We've got this one, which I think is actually based on a minicon rather than a Micromaster, but that's very, very cool. And there's this colour one as well, maroon one. I really like the maroon one. Maroon and yellow works really well together, doesn't it? So they're pretty cool. We've got this one, which is based on a Micromaster, and I've got this Micromaster, and this one's really tight and really well done. I can't tell if it's a little bit bigger or about the same size, but there we go. But the ones that I was really excited about were these two, because these are KOs of the hot rod that came with, oh, I forgot what it's called now. Star Convoy, there we are, we got there in the end, didn't we? So it's called Star Convoy. There's a Micromaster hot rod that comes with it. It sent me to a white one and a red one. The white one reminds me of another Micromaster, actually. But that's pretty cool. These are really well made, actually, aren't they, Dave? This colour scheme on this one reminds me of the fire engine that was in the Rescue Patrol. Just these colours of them really, really match well. So yeah, so there we go. Well, I've got a couple of little hot rods here. I think, to be honest, the red one is going to go on the hot rod shelf, and he's going to stay in his alt mode. Red. That's awesome. It's like on the tail fin and everything like that. I know the original one had some stickers on and that, but that's still pretty cool, isn't it? I know the colours aren't quite right, but at the end of the day, it's still pretty awesome, isn't it? So yeah, that is great. Thank you so much, Dave. That is everything that you've put in this little cheeky haul for me. You're an absolute legend, you are, mate. Thank you very much. Lovely gifts. Yeah, thanks, pal. I really, really owe you one. So today is Sunday, the 7th of May. You've got to excuse the do. I've been wearing a hat most of the day, so it looks like I've got a right cowlick, but never mind. So I've picked up a few toys over the last couple of days. Some I've opened and I haven't recorded. First item I picked up is a Transformer. It is Thrash here. Thrash, that is right, isn't it? From Earthspark. I picked up this. I went into Smith's this week to pick up some bits for my son's birthday, which is next Sunday. And yeah, I saw this and I thought I might as well pick it up. I've got Twitch over there. The scale I don't think works quite well, because this gal is a little bit bigger than him, where I think it should be slightly the other way around, but it's okay. It's not too bad. And yeah, this figure's alright. I think this is one of the Warrior figures that normally has a gimmick on there, but the gimmick is kind of detachable on this one, so you can have him as a robot, or you can have his sidecar as a gun, or whatever you want to do, really. It pegs onto his arm, nothing spring-loaded, it's just a basic Transformer, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, he transforms into a pretty cool little bike and sidecar. He's alright. He was £13, I think he was. He worked out at £13-14 from Smith's, and he's alright, as I say. A fun little Transformer, not very expensive. Let's face it, a lot of Transformers these days are overpriced, let's be honest, like many of these things. But this one was one that I picked up full price because I thought he was worth it. I saw the reviews, he was alright, and it's a recommend for a little bit of a fun toy for under 15 quid. So he is awesome. So, now, do you remember this figure I picked up ages ago, this Miggs Mayfield, and this is in his Imperial get-up from, I think, an episode in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Now, those of you know that the Black Series was a massive fad of mine that I really enjoyed, to be honest with you. But the problem was that prices just got too steep, and I've been playing the waiting game on Black Series figures. But this one was on sale for $7.99, relatively new figure on In Demand Toys. Obviously, I had to throw the postage on top of that as well. So it come to just over a tenner, I think it did. Just over a tenner, or £10 odd. Another Big Mayfield. So this is him in his Season 1 get-up, I think. And it's a lovely figure, actually. It was one that I saw in the package in HMV for like 25 quid. And I thought, oh, I'm not paying 25 quid for it. But actually, when I opened it up, it comes with 4 pistols. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this extra pistol that's mounted on his back. And he's a really nice figure. He's a really, really nice figure. I think the head sculpt is better than this Miggs. And yeah, I think it works. I think it's alright. So, on to the parcel. Now this is well, I'm just really enjoying Star Wars stuff again. And I feel a bit gutted that the Black Series stuff is really pricing me out. But I kind of realise that actually there's a whole treasure trove of figures out there at really cheap prices from like the Power of the Force 5POA stuff. I recently started watching Star Wars Rebels, and I thought, let me pick up the Black Series figures because it's awesome, right? And I know they're going to be in the Ahsoka show and everything like that. But actually, when I'll get around to checking the price of those things now, there is no way I'm going to pay that. But I had a look, and of course, there were some old Rebels 5POA figures. So I thought, why not jump in on those and see what they're like? It is Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller? It is Ezra Miller, isn't it? Ezra Bridger, not Ezra Miller. Ezra Bridger from the Star Wars Rebels, and he's got a speeder. We've got his figure there, which is quite good. The other thing that I do prefer about these figures over the Black Series is these are like animation accurate. It has got a bit of a rip on there, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to be opening it anyway. But yeah, I think this was $8.99 plus postage, and maybe this is a way to actually start collecting some stuff again and enjoying it, because let's face it, we get priced out the market mentally now, don't we, with some of the figures that are coming out. And there's still some great stuff we can get out there. And as I say, this is sealed. I probably could have got a cheaper one by getting an open one, but I wanted to make sure his lightsaber was there. So let's try and open this up now. As you can see, use the screwdriver to lock up the sellotape, which probably isn't the best idea. And you can't you can detach the blade, so that's interesting. So in some of the figures that I've seen reviews of, you can't detach the blade, and for those of you who've not seen Rebels, this lightsaber is pretty unique, where it's got a blaster in the end, so we can use it as a blaster and a lightsaber. But this this lightsaber can go in, and there we go. That's pretty cool. And then what you can do is you can pop his feet in here, I believe. So put his feet on, like so. You can hold on to the speeder bike. That's not bad for a fraction of the price of a Black Series figure. Less space, more cartoon accuracy. That is bang on, that is. I'm really happy with that. I'm very, very happy with that. I might go straight on eBay now and have a look for a few more Rebels figures. Who knows? Right, yeah, we'll start off then with Walsall Wood Toy Fair. A little toy fair that's in a sports hall just around the corner from me, like 5 minutes away. And I've picked up some stuff there in the past. In fact, the last time I went there, I picked up this Jetfire figure that was missing loads, which I've actually got a junker for, and I put some stuff back together, and he's nice and white, just missing this one. So if anyone's got this panel, give us a shout. But yeah, I got that from there last time. I went and had a little bit of a wander up, and I did find some bits there. And I'll be honest with you, I bought 4 things. 3 of them are on eBay, one of them is sold as eBay. So I showed you the other 2 that's on eBay that are still left. They're these Gremlins figures from Applause back in, I think it was 1990. Yeah, 1990. Oh, and I've just dropped old Spike. I also had the Batty one, the Looney one. I'll put a picture of it up somewhere on here. But yeah, these were just in a bin, and they were in a 3 for a £5. So I thought, I'm going to pick them up for a £5. Anyway, I managed to sell one of them for like 13 quid. So yeah, I was originally going to keep them because I do like Gremlins, but then I thought, well, like, I'm not going to display them, I'm just going to stick them in a box, and it's such a shame to do that. So I've listed these on eBay. I'm going to stick them back in their little bag now. But yeah, it was a cool find, 3 for a £5, and yeah, if I'm able to flip them and get a bit of profit and spend on something I really want, that'll be awesome. The thing that I'm keeping out there, which was in the same box, was this Bull Alien from the Aliens line from the 90s. Those of you who've been watching my videos for a while know that I have got a fair few of these, and I tend to have a rule of I only pick them up when they're a £5. I don't want to spend more than a £5 on them. And the Bull Alien here, even though he's missing his face hugger, his gimmick still works. I thought there were some bits missing from here, but they're not. It looks like they're like ports, 5mm ports or something, but they're not. They're just detailing. But yeah, it was like £2. As I say, those things were 3 for a £5 or £2 each in the box. So I saw him and all, and I thought, well, I'm going to grab him. They did have, I think it was, is it Ajax? The figure that like dresses up as an alien, but he was missing all of his parts, so I left him. I've got most of the aliens now from this line. I think the Snake Alien's what I'm missing. But yeah, £2, picked him up, pretty awesome. Right, yeah then, on to a car boot that I went to last Sunday. It's Monday, Bank Holiday Monday. There wasn't a lot of stuff there, but I did find these for £1 each, and the guy gave me another little cheeky Transformers freebie. It is this, what's it called? Is it like the Evergreen? I don't want to say classics. It's the cheap Transformers line that you find in B&M for about a tenner. This was Grimlock. His mouth doesn't move or anything like that. His transformation's really, really simple, and he loves to fall apart as well. As you can see, by these parts just falling off him. But yeah, picked up Grimlock here, who is just completely falling apart. He's alright. He's definitely a kid's toy, and not one that we should be rushing out as collectors to go and pick up and get. But for £1 on a car boot, like, I couldn't leave him behind. Now, for the terrible, and this is pretty terrible, figures in a cheap line to a pretty awesome figure, they're Megatron as well. And this is a great toy. Like, yes, the plastic is a little bit cheaper. Yes, the fusion cannon is a little bit small. Yes, his legs are really, really gappy. But he's actually quite good. His tolerances are tight. His articulation's pretty good. I actually really, really like this figure. So yeah, he was £1 as well. So yeah, Grimlock, wasn't the best, but Megatron here, you know what, if you see him for a couple of quid, get him up, pick him up as a fiddle toy. Not worth a tenner, but if you see him for a couple of pounds, as I say, he's worth it. He's a pretty decent Megatron, and to be honest, with a bit of love to this mould, it would make a decent like Generations one. But yeah, picked up him for £1, and then the guy in the store said, "Oh, I've got this as well. You can have it if you want it broken," and handed me a G1 Cliff Jumper, missing his feet. But I think I've only seen Cliff Jumper. Well, I've got my childhood Cliff Jumper, but that's it. So who knows? I might keep an eye out, see if there's a junker anywhere. Missing a tyre, missing 2 feet, but you cannot leave a G1 bot behind. So I want to talk to you about a little passion that I've been thinking about revamping. It started now. It's kicked off this little collection. I am finding that Transformers, like Black Series, I'm having to pick and choose now simply because of the cost, right? And sometimes the cost of these figures, we've been into this before, don't reflect the value of what the actual figure is. They feel cheap, missing parts, not a lot of plastic, like bad quality, all of this kind of stuff. And one of the reasons why I had this bit of a break was I've fallen out of love with modern toys. And I'm not saying that I'm never buying modern toys. In fact, I bought one from the Comic Con today. But there is something about going out there and collecting some stuff from your childhood that you maybe missed out on, that you maybe need to replace, but also something that's relatively, there's the word I'm looking for, cheap. Enter Power of the Force 2. Now this is one of my Power of the Force figures from when I was younger. You can see in storage he's been a bit bent. Luke Skywalker on a speeder bike. And basically, yeah, he's missing one of his parts as well. So basically, I was having a chat to my mate who's been in his loft and found loads of his Power of the Force stuff, or some of his Power of the Force stuff, episode 1 stuff. I bought, obviously, Ezra, that you saw earlier on in the video, and I thought, well, I'm going to get my Power of the Force stuff out. And when I was at Walsall Wood Toy Fair, there was a store with all these Power of the Force figures on for like £5 each complete. And I was so tempted to pick up loads, and I regret that I didn't now. But I was really tempted because they're cheap, they're something to collect, they're Star Wars, and they got that nostalgic pull of when I was younger. So I decided to go up into my loft, pull all my Power of the Force figures out. Here are some of them in there. And see what bits I've got and who I haven't. Now, I have lost some over the years. I seem to have lost my Vader, I've lost my Hanning Carbonite. Lost a few others as well. I think I sold some of the seals, seal ones to my mate Shabs. But I went on there and I looked through, and even though I've still got some seal ones up the loft, my open ones were basically missing all their accessories. There was a handful that still had them. My Jedi Knight Luke still had his lightsaber. My X-Wing Luke still had his lightsaber. But there was a lot of accessories missing. So these are the figures from the first wave, which I have most of now. That's the Vader I'm missing. So I decided I'm going to get some parts. So I went onto eBay and I found this lot. I think I paid £15 for basically a big baggie of weapons, which meant I was able to complete about 7 or 8 figures and partially complete about another 3, which was pretty awesome. Including things like, let me find it. Here he is. So little things like Luke's lightsaber, his gun. I've got a load of these guns. Yoda's walking stick, and these are great figures. Yes, they're only 5 POI. Yes, the likenesses aren't perfect, but they're fun, they're cheap, they're a subject matter that I like, and actually they're quite fun to display and play around with. So I bought a lot. As I say, I'll get a picture of everything that I bought in this lot, and I managed to complete some figures, which was pretty awesome. Thanks to my mate Si, who I met at the Walsall Wood Toy Fair last year I think it was now. He pointed out to me that there's a little shop up in Blocks, which it was more like a jumble sale last time I went up there, but they'd moved to a new premises. So bearing that in mind, and with my newfound passion for Power of the Force, I went on a little hunt up there to see if they had anything. And they had a Lando and Vader that I needed, but they were missing the cloaks and the accessories. And even though I had Vader's lightsaber, I didn't want to have that figure without the cloak. It seemed a bit counterproductive. And I'm trying to get these figures. I'm trying to get open ones for a £5, sealed ones for a £10. That's my rule on these. And where possible, buy them in person as well. So I went up there and I did find something. I found Endor Han, who I've never had out the packet. He was in a box. He didn't come with this blaster though. This blaster was in the tub of the lot that I bought from eBay. This is the right blaster to go with the figure. He actually came with this blaster that I was missing from my original Han Solo. So for a £4 he was, I managed to get a figure that I hadn't got and complete another, which is pretty awesome. And then in there as well, I found this. This was £10. This is Power of the Force Han Solo with the carbonite block. One of the figures that I was missing from when I was younger. It has got a bit of bubble damage. The card is a little bit worn. It's got some like Japanese stuff on the back and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool to see. Here you are, Dave. I know you love these ones. Stuff that weren't in the film. So yeah, I picked up him. He was $9.99. I really wanted to pay less for him, but he was there, and I thought, why not? So here's a question for people watching this video. Do I open him or not? Leave it in the comments below. Do I free him from his plastic prison after the best part of 30 years? Well, 1996. What, 20 odd years? 25, 26 years. Huh? 28 years? 28 years? Something like that. Do I free him out of it? Apparently, this card is a quite rare card to have this figure on. And I'm not talking being able to buy a new house somewhere for £1 million rare. But apparently this figure was mainly known on the green cards, where this is on an orange card. And it is not bilingual, which means it was either from the States or obviously from Japan maybe? China? I don't know. But yeah, he was a 10 so I picked him up. So my first 2 Power of the Force figures I picked up from my second run of trying to collect these things. So that was pretty awesome. So on to Walsall Comic Con today, which I thought was going to be a really small, like cheap event, but it wasn't. It was really quite big, and there was some decent stuff there. The Batmobile was there, the tumbler from the Dark Knight trilogy. That was really, really cool to see. There was loads of people dressed up, like in Jawa costumes or in Imperial costumes, everything like that. I took Oliver with me. He was a right pain. He didn't like the people dressed up. He was storming off because there was nothing there for him, but he ended up finding some bits in the end. But yeah, it was alright. It was a decent place. Got quite busy, but we left after a couple of hours. And yeah, I found some bits. I'm going to tell you now about something that I regret buying straight away. And as soon as I handed over the money, I realised it wasn't the thing that I thought it was. So I bought this Beast Wars figure. I forget what it's called now. It's on eBay if anyone wants it. I thought it was the Snap Turtle, but it's not. It's a Fusor. So I got confused. I always fancied that little Snap Turtle. I think Dave Shooty's got it. But then I paid £7 for him, and then when I got home, I realised his gun, which is missing, forms half the bloody torso. I hate Beast Wars. I really hate Beast Wars. I don't know why I bought it. I completely regret it. As I say, it's on eBay. Right then, Transformer I picked up today, and this is it's one I pre-ordered and I then cancelled it when I was going through my fad of I am not going to keep paying to pre-order things which could be crap, right? My mate Luffy picked this up yesterday, took some photos of it, didn't look too bad, and I said to him yesterday, either I'll wait for the sales online or I'll see if it's in person. And good old Sven had this on, which is the War for Cybertron. Is it War for Cybertron? It is War for Cybertron. Bumblebee. Yeah, not one that it looks amazing, but it doesn't look too bad. I know that you might need to do a mod with the legs or something, because you can tweak about with the legs basically, and give him some ankle rockers, which is criminal that they don't come with. But it was £25. Bit reluctant to pay £25 now for a deluxe, but normally we pay £25 plus postage. So at least I managed to take the postage away from that. And you know what? It was an in-person purchase, and you don't mind that so much. So I picked up him. Pretty cool find. I also picked up Kane and Jarrus. So I picked up Ezra the other week, I was watching one of these figures on eBay, but again didn't want to pay the postage, so I picked up him for a £5 today. So one of my another little Rebels figure to go next to Ezra, which is pretty awesome. What else did I pick up? I got this, probably the bargain of the day. I don't know if loads of stuff's missing off it, but I picked up this T16 from Power of the Force. It looks like something's missing off the back here. The rocket's definitely missing. I think the arms do go up like that. I don't know if you can actually put a figure inside or what. I don't know how it works. I don't know if this part comes off or whatever. But that was £3. It was in a bin. So I thought £3, even if it's missing some pieces, the majority of it is there. Yeah, so pretty awesome. £3, little T16, and I've just pulled the wings off it. But never mind, it should clip back on, because toys from the 90s just clip back together and don't really break. I also picked up from the same store. He said, oh, that's £3. I asked him if he had any more Power of the Force, and he said no. And then I found these on the table. These were 3 figures for a tenner. He said, oh, I'll let you have them for a £5. I was like, sound, I will have that. And I think this is from like a box set, maybe a slightly later Power of the Force line. I'm not 100% sure. We've got Chewbacca here, Leia, and Han, and this is like a Minoc. I think it's from the Minoc part of Empire Strikes Back. No other accessories with them. I'm not sure what year that they're from. I'll try and have a look. Still Kenner, China, 1998. So yeah, slightly later Power of the Force figures. Maybe I missed these when I was younger, but nevertheless, for the 3 of them for a £5, got a few marks on them, a few scuffs, but I don't really mind that. For a £5, 3 figures, can't really grumble. Then, oh god, is it King Street Toys in Wolverhampton? They always have stalls at these events, and they had some stuff on there. So I thought, let's have a look, see what they've got. They did have Power of the Force on there, and they had Power of the Force Luke here, who I do have sealed in the loft. I do have him loose, but I'm missing a sabre and I'm missing his gun, or his grappling hook gun that wasn't in the film. So, yeah, I decided I was going to get him for the parts, really. So, yeah, and this one is all battered and bruised. Shall we open him up? Shall we release him from 30 years? Shall we upset some people? Oh, the glue's quite good on it. Look at the glue holding. Here we go, we've done it. We are freeing Luke from his plastic prison. After 30 years, or pushing 30 years. There we are. There's Luke. And he has his lightsaber with a bit of tape on. So let's pop that in his hand. Oh, and let's put this in his other hand. That's how we do it. And there we go. We have Power of the Force, Luke Skywalker, freed from his plastic prison after 30 years. This is one of the Wave 1 ones. And yeah, happy to have him. Seal collectors will be crying. But to be fair, that £5 for a seal figure for nearly 30 years old. Can you see why? Like, I'm actually tempted and taking... This is bringing the fun back into the hobby, finding the bargains, not spending an arm and a leg. Yeah, look at that buffness, man. Buff Luke. I had these two, and Dave shouted at me for spending more than £1 on them, but they are Phantom Menace figures, Darth Maul, and Battle Droid with the Gontorp chips. So I might do a little video of me opening these up. We've already opened one today, and I found my actual Gontorp thing, so I might open them up and we'll just have a bit of fun with them. I don't know if that was the Darth Vader I had when I was a kid. I found his lightsaber randomly, but not the rest of him. I can't even ever remember handling one of these battle droids. But they were £6 each, and I asked him if he'd do them both for a tenner, and he said yes, so that was pretty nice of him. And is that everything? I think that was everything. Yeah. So there you go. I think we're all caught up, finally. lots of stuff to go through today, so thanks for being patient. It was a bit of a long one. And yeah, let me know what you think about my new little obsession. New little cheap obsession, anyway. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about my pickups. And until next time, I've been Zort Rider, and I'll catch you again really, really soon.